to interview some other people. We want to understand what is the issue. Remember, for you to vote, you must be having a national ID. You must have been given a voter location slip, and if you don't have that, you must at least appear in the voter national register. We shall be talking to some of the people, but tubulire, where is the issue? Owekitiibwa amanyago nambeera ogiraba otya kiki ekigenda mu maaso wano?
Amanya gange bampita Simakula William. Embeera eri wano ffe tusobedde busobezi ng'abalonzi bate tulina kye tulaba kigenda mu maaso. Tuli wano twakedde okulonda, twagala okusuulira pulezidenti waffe akalulu, tetubiraba tetubitegeera mbu obuma bwafudde. Obuma mu bujjeebwo muleete inki nga gwe twakozesanga tugende maaso n'okulonda. Saba mukulu by'Abakama twagala kulonda ebyuma byo bifu.
Embeera eno yali ebaddewo okuva mu kulonda okuze kubaawo mu myaka egiyise.
N'okulonda okwaliwo era twatandika ssaawa 9 na kaakati tugenda kutandika oba ssaawa mmeka simanyi. Twagala kulonda, tetwagala mutwekwasa nti tetwalonze, tetwagala tunyiiga ate tudde waffe twebake. Mwatugambye kulonda nakudda waka kukola kikulinda byenaava mu kulonda. Kyetwagala tukedde mwagala kutukwatira wano mu ssaawa ezo byokulonda nga ziwedde kiki. Amateeka batugambye mita 20. Simanyi mita 20 wano ziririddawa era amateeka mugagoberera? Mita 20 teziriwo wano. Amateeka twali gagoberedde era tugagoberera kubanga nti ffe ekituleese kusuula akalulu kwaffe nakudda waka kwebaka.
Ugandan out there who is watching, you do hear some of the issues coming from the voters who came in early enough. They look frustrated, but they are willing to wait for whatever will happen and see how best they will be casting their vote. I will be talking to this lady also. Anywaka chaike embeera asazeewo agirinde alabe embeera butya bwetambula. Nyabo wamanyago
Sena Maganda Rose.
Akachayo osazeewo okanywere wano.
Naze kuma kalulu kange.
Wakedde saameka?
10.
Womu kuba polling agent?
Ndi polling agent.
Okibiina ki?
NRM.
Kati emita 20 ezayogeddwako gwomu ku balina okubeera munda wano?
Ezo mu abalina okubeera munda nera nze kuma kalulu kange akomukulembeze w'eggwanga.
Enteekateeka eriwo lwaki temunatandika kulonda? Embeera wakedde ssaawa 11, embeera ebadde etya okutuusa kaakano?
Obuma bwe butusazeeko bwe buganye.
Olowooza ki ekyandisaanye okubanga kikolebwa okwata obudde?
Banditukkiriza ne tulonda kubanga abantu bo we bali mu bungi beetegese osuula akalulu kaabwe. Banditukkiriza ne tulonda ne tuvaawo mu ssaawa ezaalagirwa.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are a setting that they knew that they are aware of. So we're going to be rotating around within the different parts of the country. Here in Kampala, we shall visit different polling stations to try to ascertain how is it there. If polling was supposed to start at about 7 a.m., where is the challenge? Because as I talk now, it is clocking to 9 and nothing has been done yet. But the voters look very calm. They are patient for whatever will happen. They will be here to cast their vote. Back to you at the broadcast house.
Saiji and the whole team that covered that story a few hours earlier on in the morning. Now let's head to Michael Jordan Lukumwa at Usafi Chisenyi, polling station and see what transpired in the early hours of the morning.
Well, yes, a very good morning to you tuned into UBC TV. Thank you so much for starting the day with us. Day in the history of Uganda, where Ugandans are going to the polls to vote for new leadership starting 2026 to 2031. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa. I'm part of the team monitoring how it is going down here in Kampala and other parts of the country that we shall be visiting. Now, I'm standing along Mengo Hill Road, a road that comes from the direction of Lubiri, and it connects to the roundabout of a place that used to be called Kalitunsi, somewhere down, and I'm on the side of Usafi Taxi Park. At this point, there are 3 polling stations, and right now they are opening one of the polling stations that is on the road side. I want us to have a witness, to witness the process of how a polling station is being opened. The lady in the white t-shirt is the presiding officer, and these are the officials that she's going to work with. So they are at they are in the process of opening a polling station, showing everything to the agents and other officials. This is the biometric voter verification machine and all these other things that they are going to be using today as they go down to the polls. Like, according to the law, yesterday we were listening to the Electoral Commission Chairman, Justice Byabakama, and he said there must be at least 10 registered voters as a polling station opens. So you can see behind me there is a very long line. There are more than 10 people who are waiting to vote, and they are witnessing as their polling station is being opened so that they start to vote. There are agents here. Maybe we can say hi. Sebo Jebale. Wakededda. Olunaku olwetegekedde otya? Okay, I'll talk to the other. Mukama wange sembera ko ntogere mukatono. Nga agent. Erinnya lyo kusooka.
Bamita bya Ruhanga Badro.
Bya Ruhanga Badro li agent wani.
President Museveni.
Okay. Wakededda olunaku olwetegekedde otya era kiki ky'osuubira ne polling station eno oyinza gitubuulirako otya embeera zaayo nga bwebaddenga.
Ne polling station ya mirembe nnyo eva. Terina buzibu bwonna. Era ebiseera ebisinga tulonda bulungi nnyo. Era bw'oba otunulira embeera eriwo. Abalonzi basimbye layini bulungi bakededda. Tulinda bulunzi tutandika okulonda.
So abantu bakededda ssaawa ziri 3:00. Lwaki mubadde temunatandika?
Aba isi badde baludde okuleetera ebikozesebwa.
Naye mubadde mwatandika.
Twakededda yesebo.
Obubaka ki bw'olina eri omulonzi akulaba ali ekoboko, ali eggulu, ali ebusoga, ali ekabaale?
Kyembasaba bakume just mirembe. Bakole ekyabalese ku polling station balonde. Badde wako bagendere ku instructions ze baba wadde.
Tweyanziza. Twogereko ne agent omulala omu mukama wange. Jangu side one, jangu one. Oli agent wani?
Wa President Yoweri Museveni.
Ayina oba agent babiri wano.
Tuli basatu.
Okay.
Yes.
Polling station eno gitegeke. Mwetegese mutya?
Kubadda tuli ba mirembe. Tusubire mirembe. Kyetwagala.
Okay.
Abantu bakakkamu. Bala kusula kalulu kugenda. Machine badde station eyikyanga mu katona awo.
Okay.
Naye mazine bitukolera kimanyi bigera tamula bulungi. Erinnya kirabira Johnny. Ngani VHT w'ekitundu kyo wagulu bayita Nuku zone. Ate nga niba byako defense w'ekitundu kyo.
Kale se kitegeza kati batandise. Katulabe embeera bweringa bwe babanga batandise. Gwatulaba ku Star TV tuli wano Mengo Kisenyi ku luguudo lwe bayita Mengo Hill Road. Bakagulawo polling station era tulabye bwe bagigula. Kakati abalonzi batandise okusimba ennyiriri okulaba ndowooza nga batandika okulonda.
All right, thank you, Michael Jordan Lukomwa. I understand Michael was also at railway polling station. I hope we are able to get quick footage of what transpired from there. But we also do have Onyango Nobat, who is at Rwachtura, where the president is expected to be voting from. But for now, let's go back to Michael Jordan. Right, let's go back to Michael Jordan Lukomwa, who also collected footage from railway polling station, and we see what transpired there. So further highlights we have with all the reporters that have been able to speak to and speak with. Remiaga, the BVVKs failed. William Street, the BVVKs failed. And Usafi Electoral Commission officials delayed. Now let's see what transpired at the railway polling station in the early hours of the morning as Ugandans got to vote for their president.
This is of the Uganda. Yes, good morning once again. You are still live on UBC TV, and we are now coming to you from here at the Uganda Railways grounds. That's how I'll term it. In front of me there is a petrol station here near the offices of the Uganda Railway, and where we normally get driving permits. I want you to give you the real geographical picture. There is a place here where normally trucks park. There are 3 big polling stations, and in this place people have already started voting. As you can see in my background, There is a voter here who is just going to cast his ballot after ticking his candidates of choice. And they are casting their ballot. They are starting with the president, the woman MP, then directly elected MP, as the parliamentary elections and the presidential are today. So this is still Kampala Central. Just to remind you, we have the elections for the president. We have President Museveni, Bobi Wine, Kyagulanyi, Kasibante Robert, Elton Joseph Mabirizi, Frank Bulira, and there are 8 of them. Then there is the woman MP. There is the NRM has, the NUP has. Then there is also the Kampala Central MP, because this is still Kampala Central. The turn up for now, I would say, is good, because if it is just 9:30 and the lines have these kind of numbers, one would say the turn up is really good. By 2 p.m. I'm sure the lines will be very long and a good number of people will have managed to cast their ballots. The polling stations are 3. There is just one behind me here. There is another one on the left, and there is another one on the right. Actually, there are 4 polling stations around these grounds. There is a gentleman here who is trying to guide the voters as they come in. We will find out what his role is. I don't know whether we can talk to him to get to know what exactly his role is, because I've seen him guiding voters as they come in. Sir, good morning. Fine. We have seen you guiding voters as they come in here. What is your role here? There is a Ugandan watching you in this camera.
I'm just directing, helping people. I'm just directing them how to vote and where to cast their votes from.
Okay, what is your name?
Obo.
Just that?
Ibrahim.
Obo Ibrahim. So are you a voter here?
I'm a voter here.
Okay, so how did you start? How was the opening of the polling stations here? How easy or difficult was it? Did you find any challenges, or it was?
The challenges were on the machines. The machines took time to start working, so they started at around 9.
What was the problem with them?
The problems I don't know. I don't know the problem.
But they delayed you?
They delayed us.
Okay. But finally they opened and...
They opened and we started. Yes, they are using the machines.
Okay.
And we started voting at around 9.
Okay, now you who has witnessed, how has this machine, what is its contribution to the process?
I don't know.
All right, that is at the railway station, but an update coming through is that in Remiaga, General Rashande is going to vote as we speak right now. Let's have a look at what is transpiring there and see how his experience is going to take shape. Uganda goes to the polls 2026. You are watching UBC TV. Indeed, as you can see on the screen, this is where Ivan Kawa is located. That is General Rashande being directed and given ballot papers, ballot material to be guided to cast his own vote.
A presiding officer here.
Well, Brigadier General Rashande has arrived at the polling station where he does vote from, and he has already passed where the presiding officer of this polling station is receiving the voters at this polling station. General Rashande right there is waiting for the other 2 voters who are still ahead. They are having some interaction, and from what I can hear, there is a ballot paper that has been a little bit torn. That is the information I'm hearing, and that's why the process is at standstill as of now. I can see the other voter has moved back, and the female already is at the Benson ticking her favorite presidential candidate. That first box is for the presidential candidates. Now you can see the general is advising. I think there is a confrontation there, but we will be monitoring to see what exactly is happening. Well, I will go close there to see what exactly is happening at this polling station. Well, for now, there must be an issue with the ballot paper here, but there is an interaction that the general is making, but from when he's done with voting, we shall be able to ask him what exactly he is witnessing right now. He will explain to us what has transpired therein, but the voting is still going on smoothly, and other people are already going on with the exercise. So right there, he is moving, and then he's going to cast his vote. You know, right there, he's at the first basin where he's supposed to tick from the presidential candidate of his choice. That is Brigadier General Ashande, 1-star general. Those who already see the red collars on the UPDF uniform with a coat of arm and 1 star, that is the rank he is holding in the Uganda People's Defense Forces. General Ashande right there, ticking. For those who are listening to UBC and watching UBC, listening to other radio stations, Nabali Kusta TV, we are in Lwemiyaga County, where General Ashande is in the race with Thedro Sechikubo. It is a hotly contested area, hotly contested position. We all remember what happened during the nomination of these specific candidates. It was all excitement. It was all a lot of words that were said between these people. One saying that you have been in parliament for quite some good time. It's high time that an army officer retired can come in to transform the lives of these people. However, we drove from Zimbabwe right to this place. The road is still dusty. That's what I faced, and you know, so if you're not careful enough, you might reach here when you're all brown. General Ashande there is done with ticking the presidential candidate of his choice, and is being guided by the polling agent. That is the role they have. Right there, the polling agent helps the general too. There you go. The president has been voted by General Ashande. Now he is proceeding to the next box for members of parliament. I think this is where he is supposed to vote for himself or the other rival, if he decides to do so. There, the general casts his vote. That's for the members of parliament. And then he will proceed to the other box. Well, I think he has looked at UBC and is like, hey, I should talk to these guys, but we shall be having him. Right there, woman members of parliament. He is done voting, so he will put the thumb at the ink. There you go. Signify. You know, he's a very playful gentleman, so you can't be around him without laughing. So he's already done now. That signifies that he has already voted. So we are going to be speaking with General Ashande, and we get to hear an update from him regarding the exercise. Well, I think now the process is standstill. I think because we are having a general here, and apparently, but they have started allowing in other people. I wasn't seeing others coming in, but they have already allowed in other people to come and engage into the process. So we are going to speak to General Ashande shortly, so that he can give us an update regarding how he has seen the exercise. Polling agent, can you help us, guide us on how we can, so that, all right, General, kindly, you could come here close.
First of all, I want to clear what you were talking. I heard you saying that we are bringing confusion. No, you cannot destroy
one paper and you go back and you return the destroyed one and they give you a new one, because there is no single person who has 2 ballot papers. Okay?
Yes, we were actually waiting for you to explain to us what was happening, but you have really made it clear, sir.
Yes, there is no individual that has 2 ballot papers at a go. When when the other one is destroyed, the way you have done it, you put it in, that is a destroyed ballot.
It becomes invalid.
Becomes invalid.
You're not given a second one.
You're not given a second one. Because you can vote for other people. Yes, but then you don't go back because somebody there supports the person you are voting for, then he takes you to get another ballot paper. That's not correct. Because every Ugandan must exercise his right to vote. So when you take 2, it means that you have taken papers for 2 people. Yeah.
So, General, briefly, we saw you come in. Tell us, how have you seen the exercise right from the first desk?
I think it is clear. Maybe I have not seen any problem right from up there, up to here. I have not seen any problem. I've just come from home. I just want to go around and see how people are voting. And
we've had information that the BVK machines in the constituency have failed to work. Have you?
It's not in the constituency. It's in the country. In the whole of Uganda. It's not in the country. It has just been cleared now that people should actually go ahead and vote without the machines. These are machines and we are people. So people can govern themselves without the machines. After all, it's the people that govern the machines. So what is the problem?
Asante, thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Good. Well, mu Luganda mpozi tulina stative vigeno abooluganda so
abooluganda luno Luganda lwange nga lulinga.
All right, that is General Emmanuel Rashande, who's been speaking to our very own Ivan Kahwa. He has finished casting his own vote, and he made a point that in case you've made a mistake with your ballot, you have a right, the law gives you the right to take it back so that you're given another one where you can rightfully tick and rightfully do the right ticking or thumbprint to vote for your candidate. Now, if you remember, during the primaries, there was a war, a heavy war in Remiaga between Sechkubo and Rashande, where the long-serving Remiaga County MP Theodore Sechkubo suffered a major political blow after losing the NRM party flag to retired Brigadier General Emmanuel Rashande during the NRM primaries. And if you look at the percentage of statistics as to how he won, Rashande won with 16,358 votes, translating to about 54.3% against Sechikubo, who garnered 8,702 votes, which translated to about 28.92% of the votes. Now, the other candidates that were there at the time were Edmond Bwire with 960 votes, former State Minister for Animal Husbandry Joy Kabatsi with 471 votes, and Jacob Kato, who came last with 11 votes. But Remiaga is in the parliamentary race, has attracted 5 aspirants altogether, away now from the primaries into what we are voting for today. 5 aspirants, including, of course, the incumbent Theodore Sechikubo and, of course, Major General Rashande, and others there to look into, indeed, are Isaac Museveni Tumusime of the National Unity Platform and Mr. Joseph Migade Amoti, who is on the independent ticket. Keep in mind that Honorable Theodore Sechikubo has served Remiaga County for now 25 years as a member of parliament, and he's still contesting for your vote to go back to the August House under the 12th Parliament. It's UBC TV that you're watching. Uganda goes to the polls 2026. We bring you footage from different areas. So far, what we have studied and learned from the different reports coming in from the different areas: Remiaga, Sebabule generally in different areas, the BVVKs have failed. Same applies to here even in Kampala. Jethro Kasaiji reported that it took time, voting took time to start as early as possible because the BVVKs failed there as well. Usafi, the issue there was delayed electoral commission officials coming in late, and at the railway polling station, the machines also took their time and in fact started at about 9 a.m. to function. So it looks like the BVVKs have been quite an issue, and yes, they were an issue of conversation even at their point of introduction. Part of their reason for being introduced and being used was to avoid or prevent issues like ballot stuffing. But reminding you that we have 8 presidential aspirants, and as you can see on your screen, we do have candidate Yoweri Museveni under the NRM ticket, and candidate Mugisha Muntu under the ANT ticket, Robert Kyagulanyi representing the NUP ticket, and Nandala Mafabio of the FDC representing the FDC ticket indeed, CMP Common Man's Party Munyagwa Mubarak and CP Joseph Mabirizi, as well as NPP Robert Kasivante and RPP Burira Frank Kabinga, who are representing the NRM party. Going back to their profiles, candidate Yoweri Museveni was born on the 15th of September in the year 1944 in Tungamo district, and many wonder how he got his name Museveni. But indeed, as he always tells the story, his father was one of those who fought in the World War II, and he served under the 7th Battalion, and that's how he named his son Museveni. Kubayali Museveni, the father was a Museveni, Bariba Museveni, and that's how he named his son Museveni, Kaguta Yoweri. Candidate Museveni is a veteran Ugandan politician, revolutionary leader and soldier who has served as president of Uganda since 26 January 1986, and he was educated at Chamate Primary School, Mbarara High School, Ntare School and the University of Dar es Salaam, where he studied economics and political science and became deeply involved in Pan-African and liberation ideologies. Now, Museveni led the National Resistance Army to power after a 5-year guerrilla war that ended years of political instability under his leadership. And Uganda has experienced relative stability, economic liberalization, and growth in infrastructure, education, healthcare, and regional influence, including peacekeeping missions in Somalia. That's a bit of a profile of candidate Yoweri Museveni, and I'll definitely be giving you more of his profile. But looking at candidate Mugisha Muntu, who was born in 1958, and by the way, candidate Mugisha Muntu is a born-again Christian, a Ugandan politician and retired military officer. If you read more about him, he is a man who confesses Christ a lot because he gives a testimony of how he struggled with alcohol until he let it go and was freed from the issue of and the problem of alcoholism, and now is a stable man who serves and has served his country. Ugandan politician, retired military officer, known for his disciplined leadership style, integrity and commitment to institutional development. He joined the National Resistance Army during the Bush War and rose through the ranks to become Army Commander between 1989 and 1998, where he was credited with professionalizing the armed forces and instilling a discipline. After leaving the military, Muntu entered opposition politics, serving as president of the Forum for Democratic Change from 2012 to 2017. And in 2019, he founded the Alliance for National Transformation, and following internal disagreements within the FDC, he has contested for the presidency and consistently advocating for gradual democracy reform, strong party structures, and ethical leadership rooted in institutions rather than personalities. Now, let's look at candidate Robert Kyagulanyi, who is popularly known as Bobi Wine. Excuse me. Born on the 12th of February 1982 in Gomba district, and is a Ugandan politician, musician, activist, and former ghetto youth icon. Educated at Makerere University, where he studied music, dance, and drama, Kyagulanyi built a very successful musical career using his art to highlight poverty, corruption, and social injustice. He entered or joined formal politics in 2017 after winning the Chadondo East parliamentary by-election as an independent candidate. He later became president of the National Unity Platform, Uganda's largest opposition party in the parliament, in the 11th parliament. Bobi Wine emerged as leading symbol of youth-led political change and contested in the 2021 general elections for presidency, making his second time as a candidate in the presidential race. That is FDC's Nandala Nathan Mafabi, born 17th January 1966 in Sironko district, where he, by the way, is voting from today as well. And he is a Ugandan politician, economist, and seasoned legislator. He studied economics at Makerere University and later earned a master's degree in development economics from the University of Manchester in United Kingdom. Mafabi has served multiple terms as Member of Parliament for Budadiri West and is a senior leader of the Forum for Democratic Change, where he has served as Secretary General. He also chaired Parliament's Public Accounts Committee, gaining national prominence for exposing financial mismanagement and promoting accountability in government. Known for his firm oversight role and grassroots mobilization skills. Now, right now, let's head to a message by the chairman of the Electoral Commission as he speaks to us right now.
How would they refuse them? For instance,
a very good morning.
The candidates should have issued or given copies of the register of a polling station to their candidates who are assigned to that polling station. The candidate reports to the polling station and hands in his or her letter of appointment or introduction to the presiding officer. The agents are provided for in the law, and the agents are entitled to have a register which has been issued by the Electoral Commission. So anyone who attempts to deny an agent from getting to the station with a register is wrong. If it can be, if any such person can be in a polling station who has such issues, we shall address them. Every agent is entitled to come to the polling station with a register issued by candidate. It is not the responsibility of the Electoral Commission to give candidates agents registers at the polling station.
Justice, you appeared not once, not twice, assuring the nation that these machines, the BVVK, would be functional. What was the cause of this failure?
Well, that's true. We made every effort. We informed the country, we informed the citizens. These machines are going to be at the polling stations. We have dispatched them, we have deployed them, but for technical reasons which we are still trying to verify, because now our major focus really is now, and let me make this very clear. Our major focus as a commission now is that the people of Uganda who are registered voters are not disenfranchised. That is our major focus now. As to what precisely happened that has made these machines virtually all over not to function, we are going to look into that. But we cannot say, let the people's choice be put on hold until we have sorted out the issue of the machines. We cannot put the desire to have these machines functioning over and above the constitutional right of the people of Uganda to choose their leader provided they have a legitimate record, and that is the voters register in which they participated by registering themselves, by indicating where they want to vote from. So as to what exactly happened and as to what we promised, yes, we agree with, but this is not the first time I have seen people preparing spacecrafts, go to Mars, go to the moon. The thing takes off within a few minutes. What happens? Haven't you seen that?
But it will dent your reputation as the EC.
I think to me, the issue is not the reputation of the EC. The issue is, have the people of Uganda been allowed to exercise their constitutional right in the midst, despite the circumstances, despite the challenges? Have the people of Uganda been allowed to exercise their constitutional right? Have they been enabled to go to the polling station and cast their votes and choose leaders of their choice? To me, that is what is important. It is not what becomes of Yabakama or any of the commissioners is not an issue. That's not important. What is important is for the people of Uganda to exercise their constitutional right and vote their leaders, provided that process is within the legal framework, the Constitution and the electoral laws, the Electoral Commission Act, the Presidential Elections Act, and the Parliamentary Elections Act. And I want to say, as we stand now, all those legal provisions are being complied with in the context or in the context of, is there voters registered at every polling station? Yes, there is. Are there printed ballot papers at polling stations? Yes, they are. Are the people going to be given this ballot? Are these people going to be properly identified? Yes, they are, using the register. Will they be issued the ballot papers so that they can cast their votes? Yes, they are going to be issued those papers. So to me, that is the most important thing. What is important is for the right of the people of Uganda to exercise their power, their free will to choose their leaders. Not the reputation of the commission. Yes, we need a good reputation, whether it is dented or not. To me, I think the primary thing is let the people cast their vote. And I think as we talk now, we have already sent messages to our people on the ground, and we are saying, please let the people vote, use the register. Kakati kiriwo kiti nti okulonda kutandika essaawa emu ne kukomerekezeddwa essaawa 10 si kyekyo yadde tutandise kikeererezi naye bw'ogenda ku polling station nga kati kiri kikugaana kugenda ku polling station mu budde nga kati bw'onoobeera ku polling station lw'okuba nti abantu batandise kulonda kikeererezi nti essaawa zigenda kuwera 10 abantu bakyali mu layini abo bajja kulonda bagenda kulonda naye kakati gwe bw'onojja luvannyuma lw'essaawa 10 so nga ate wandibadde ojja mu budde kati tujja kukkirizibwa kulonda kubanga ekikuleese kikeererezi sigamba nti olwokubanga obuumu obwo bakoze eki bwafudde naye kakati tuli mu ssaawa zigenda mu ssaawa 5 message era mwebale nnyo okujja bamawulire mbeebaza nnyo kyemanyi mugenda okutongooza message eno mugisaasaanye wonna nti abantu bakkiriziddwa okulonda kulina okugenda mu maaso abantu bagende balonde kasa bali mu nnyiriri z'abalonzi oba olukala lw'abalonzi mu register ku polling station balonde essaawa 10 bwezinakusanga tonalonda ssebo nnyabo ojja kulonda okulonda kunakomekereza ssaawa 11 mpaka balonzi baweddeyo naye tugamba nti ali okuba nti obuuma bwafudde kati nze sijja kugendayo oba nagendayo ssaawa 11 n'ekitundu tojja kukkirizibwa kulonda ssebo nnyabo genda nga bukyali ng'essaawa 10 tezinawera bajja kukkiriza olonde ebintu era nkakasa nti njagala kukakasa abantu ba Uganda nti akalulu kano yadde obuuma ekigendererwa ky'obuuma kyali kiki kigendererwa ky'obuuma kyali okuyamba okukakasa gundi mulonzi ng'ate tukikola mu bwangu ekintu nga tukikola mu bwangu naye bwe kubanga obuuma tibuganje tekitegeeza nti okulonda tikusobola genda mu maaso nedda ate bw'otunulira mu ssemateeka ekintu ekiri mu ssemateeka ye register bw'otunulira amateeka go by'okulonda ku bwa president okulonda kwa ba member of parliament okulonda kwa government z'ebitundu ekiri mu mateeka ago gonna ye register kati register weeri ku polling station zonna abalonzi we bali era bagenda okusooka okumanyira bw'oleeta era papa tubagamba musobola okugenda mu maaso kujja n'obupapula bwammwe voter allocation slip oba gundi ndangamuntu yo ogiweeyo bakobere mu register naye kati mu kifo ky'obuuyisa kubuuma obuuma engeri gye bugizeemu bubaddemu n'ensonga tugenda kutuna mu register era okulonda kugenda mu maaso bulungi.
Ssentebe kano okwogedde mu luzungu kino tekigenda kuleetera abantu kulowooza nti isinafu akakikoko kanafu kubanga mwaleese obuuma ne butakola kiraga ki?
Kakati ekyo kyonze ku lwange era wenjogerera kati eyo si nsonga nkulu oba akakiiko bakalabanga kanafu oba teekakoze omulimu bulungi ekikulu nnyo olw'obuuma obutakola ensonga nkulu nti bannayuganda baweereddwa omwagaanya baweereddwa omukisa okulonda abalonzi baabwe nga bwe baagala olunaku lwaleero okulonda kugenze mu maaso okusinziira mu mateeka y'ensonga nkulu nnyo. Sigamba nti oba byabakama bamutunulira batya oba bantunulira bubi oba bantunulira bulungi si nsonga nkulu. Nze Uganda yenye kulembeza singa nga byabakama kubanga nze byabakama sisinga Uganda obunene ate sisinga Uganda obukulu oba importance. Naye kikulu nnyo kiri nti bannayuganda abaaweebwa obuyinza omusemateeka baweereddwa omukisa wadde obuuma buno bwekyanze oba bufunyemu ebizibu naye bafunye omukisa ne basobola okulonda nga bukiragirwa mu mateeka oba ne musemateeka era nze ngamba ssebo nyabo bwekityo kigenda kubeera.
Nsaba onkwongere bannayuganda nga
Thank you. You've heard it from the horse's mouth. Justice Byabakama. Now, yes, he's heading back to the field and we're back to the studio. Thank you.
That was the voice of Justice Simon Byabakama, who indeed said that they are, as the Electoral Commission, they are yet to confirm and understand what is behind the failure of technology with the biometric voter verification kits. But he has insisted and told Ugandans, go and vote. At least let's use the registers, the manual way, the organic way of using registers, but do not stay at home because the BVVK has failed. And indeed, he has insisted that voting stops at 4 p.m. But whoever will be in queue by 4 p.m., even if you're in the queue and it's to end at 6 p.m., you will be allowed to vote for as long as by 4 p.m. you are already queuing. But if you come after 4 p.m., you will not be allowed to vote. That means keep your time and make sure that before 4 p.m. you are in the queue ready to cast your vote. Now let's head to Rwachtura and hear from Onyango Norbert, who is at the location, the very same location where candidate Museveni votes from and is expected to cast his vote from. Good morning, Onyango.
Good morning, Julie and our viewers of UBC TV. It is a very peaceful and very exciting day here in Rwachtura, as you said. We are just standing on the soil where the President of the Republic of Uganda will be casting his vote here in Rwachtura. This polling station is called Karo High School Rwachtura, but there are two polling stations with the voting turnout expected to be around 997, and of course the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Museveni, will be among those voters who will be coming in here to cast their vote. We are voting for the President and members of Parliament, and this is an exercise which has seen us go through the campaigns for all the 3 months, and today is the day every Ugandan has been waiting. All signs are clear that His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda is not very far from us. Within a few minutes, not more than even 10 minutes, he will be making his way here in company of the First Lady to cast the votes. At the polling station, as you can see from different angles here, voting is ongoing. They're not waiting for the President to cast their vote, but voters at exactly 8 started casting their vote for the two positions, I mean the two members of Parliament and that of President. And this is an exercise we hope it will go on up to 4 p.m. and tallying will thereafter commence. the president will be coming in here, and as media will be giving you as UBC the live images of when the head of state arrives here, the steps he will be taken through to cast his vote. Just like any other voter, he will also be taken into the procedures as guided by the Electoral Commission, where he has to verify that indeed he is a registered voter. To give you a back history, that the president, this is where almost every time he has casted his vote from, and there's no doubt that his names are in the register of those who are eligible to vote, because he took it upon himself to come and verify the name. When the party he heads, NRM, had primaries, the president also came in that situation to ensure that he cross-checks his credentials, not to miss out an opportunity of casting the vote for the leaders he wants to lead this country in the coming 5 years. So there's no doubt that he is not in the register. That was done and dusted, and he's just coming to conclude up the exercise, which started a few months ago, and almost now we are coming at the climax. As he gets here, we shall be giving you the images, and whatever will be happening here, I'm meant to understand that he will be talking to us after casting his vote, and probably the first lady, I'm aware, doesn't vote from this polling station, but that does not stop her from accompanying the father of the nation to come and take part into this noble exercise. Voting, as you can see on your screens, is going on peacefully, successfully. The situation is still very calm, and so far we have seen no challenge as far as this exercise is concerned. We were supposed to speak to the returning officer. Let me see if there is an opportunity of talking to Madam Komuhanji. Then he keeps us engaged as we wait for the arrival of the president. But our viewers, we shall keep here in Rwakitura throughout the entire day, probably throughout the entire exercise up to the day of declaring the results, to ensure that you don't miss anything in as far as the presidency of Uganda is concerned. It is the 15th of January 2026, and I know my brother, my sister, my mother, my uncle, my aunt, and the rest, this is the day you have waited for the last, I think, 1 year, when the Electoral Commission rolled up the exercise of preparing or even leading us to this exercise. Julie, I can take 1 or 2 questions, but as we wait for the arrival of the head of state, who is expected here a few moments from now.
Conversation with the returning officer to ask her a thing or two. Could you please just share with us what the situation with the biometric voter verification kits is like at that location at Karo High School polling station?
But the fact that voting is going on, I would anticipate everything is moving on well as it was planned by Electoral Commission. But we will get the returning officers to shed light about that particular incident. But so far, we have not had any complaint from the voters who have already casted their vote, meaning the biometric voter verification devices are working. But if there is one incident, we will confirm that from the managers of this exercise here, and then we will give you the credible information in as far as that one is concerned. But as I said earlier, voting is going on successfully. People are coming in, people are lining, people are being verified, they are voting, and they are not keeping at the polling station as some candidates or parties have always emphasized. Whoever casts his or her vote is expected to move or even watch this exercise from a required distance of the 200 meters, and many are doing that. After casting their vote, they are going back into their homes. They will be probably come back in the evening to witness the counting and the tallying of the votes counted or casted within the day. So security-wise, the deployment is under the Uganda Police Force. The constables are around, and that is the station at this particular polling station where I'm standing. There are 2 polling stations here at Karo High School with a voting population of 997.
Right. Indeed, I wanted to hear from you regarding the security deployment, given that it's the location where the president of Uganda also votes from, who is also a candidate right now. I just wanted you to paint a detailed picture of what the security is like, what the deployment is like, but also what the views of those who are coming to vote are in regards to the security deployment in that particular polling station.
Yes, the fact being that this is a polling station of the head of state, you would expect a more robust security approach in terms of how to secure the president. He is a candidate, but we should not also forget that he is the president, the sitting president of the Republic of Uganda. So the security for the president is around this polling station, but it is not interfering, or it is not even moving close to the polling station. I mean, the polling area. Like I said, the police constables are around to ensure that they are in charge of the polling exercise. The head of state security is just keeping a distance to ensure that they put in place whatever is required to ensure that the president moves in here peacefully, casts his vote, and automatically leaves after casting his vote. And I know after that they will also leave, and this place will ensure purely remain in the hands of the Uganda police and the sister agencies who are attached, who are connected, who have been charged with the responsibility of making sure that they protect the Ugandans across the entire country as they cast this vote. So the security situation is not alarming, it's not causing any havoc here, but of course they are here to ensure that they prepare for the president, and as soon as he leaves, they will also leave. Madam Julia and the Ugandans who are watching us, then police is on ground to ensure that they are the managers in terms of security, to ensure that this exercise be a success at the end of the day.
All right. Thank you very much, Onyango. We'll definitely be getting back to you in regards to what you'll get from the president after he casts his vote as to his experience, but I'm also looking forward to hearing from the returning officer the experience she has had in conducting the exercise. We shall get back to you in a brief after, of course, indeed, the president or the candidate Museveni casts his vote. So thank you so much, Onyango, and the whole UBC team that is on that side. Uganda goes to the polls 2026. Robert is coming up with another conversation regarding democracy, the history of democracy in Uganda. Let's first have a short break, and in just a bit, that means do not go away. In a blink of an eye, if I could paint it like that, Robert will be on to make sure that he also takes you through the history of Uganda's democracy. You are watching UBC TV. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and indeed an honor to serve you as Ugandans. We are here to make sure that we walk the story as Uganda writes its history for the 2026 general elections. Good morning.
Of the day on UBC.
He expected me to die like within the first 2 years. Out of the womb, the child will get pains, especially in the wrists. And this happens commonly when children are starting to walk.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby dondolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning. Eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
This December, all eyes in Morocco. Africa assemble. All dreams are heading one way.
Passion, fire.
Because here we play different.
Choose your stuff.
Show your colors.
Bring your flag.
And we welcome you to Morocco.
You guys ready?
Time to wake up.
The Senior Citizens Grant under the Social Assistance Grants for Empowerment SAGE program is Uganda's social protection flagship program, providing regular, predictable, and reliable direct income support to older persons. Since inception in 2010, the SAGE program has positively impacted beneficiaries' livelihoods, contributing to the overall national socio-economic transformation. The government of Uganda has continued to fulfill its commitment to the expansion and sustainability of the SAGE program, ensuring income security, dignity, and improved basic standard of living for older persons in all local governments across the country.
Nina emyaka 86 omuluka Kabakedi ombola yeruwero district yeruwero kubanga engeri gye byantegeeza nzaawe naganira nengamba sinagenda mu ebyo n'abaana nga sinnabagamba bwe yagira ki abaana nembagamba abaana ne bagamba mama genda ne banzikiriza. Sente ze nakafuna ndowooza gira emitwalo nga 6 oba zisobamu awo sikyajjukira bulungi kubanga nze kazitanzifuna naye nkola ebalirya ne mmanya nti zituuse bwe ziti ne nziteeka awo ku kayumba kange ako ne ngamba oluvannyuma ndifunamu ate ekigenda mu maaso naye nga si
It is the D-Day, the election day, and a lot is happening in the field. We are here at the Electoral Commission to get an update on what is transpiring on the ground from the chairman of the Electoral Commission. Take that shot. It's okay, get that.
This is, okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, fellow citizens, fellow Ugandans. The Electoral Commission has taken stock of the challenges that have been encountered across the country this morning when polling was supposed to have started, owing to technical glitches in our biometric verification kits. So the Commission is here to issue a statement guiding on the processes that should take place at the polling stations going forward. The Electoral Commission has received reports that voting has not commenced at some polling stations across the country due to technical challenges affecting the biometric voter verification kits. The Commission hereby directs all returning officers that where a BBVK or kit fails to start or to function, the voting process should commence immediately using the National Voters Register in accordance with the electoral laws and guidelines, so as not to disenfranchise any voter. In the meantime, the Electoral Commission's technical teams are actively responding to and addressing the reported technical challenges wherever they can. But in order not to waste time, we have directed that polling can proceed in those areas where there are still these problems which have not yet been addressed. The Commission regrets any inconveniences caused and assures the public that every necessary measure is being taken to ensure a smooth and credible voting process countrywide. Presiding officers are directed that polling stations shall remain open until the registered voters who will be in the lines or in the queues by 4 p.m. have cast their votes. The fact that polling may start late or is starting late in many areas does not mean that the voters who will be in the line by 4 p.m. without voting should be turned away because it is not their fault that voting has started late. So the law permits that polling should proceed or continue even beyond 4 p.m. provided there are voters in the line or in the queue. We believe that these measures we have taken will address the issues that have emerged because it is the primary duty of the Electoral Commission to ensure that the citizens of this country are not disenfranchised on account of a machine failure or machine failure. So this is the statement I wish to make to the nation.
Okay, Chair, it's cited that this problem is commonly in
Uganda, yes. Basebo ne banyabo bannayuganda bannange malamusiza nnyo era njagala kwebaza bannayuganda bonna abakedde ne mugenda mu bifo ebironderwamu oba polling stations nga bwe twabalambika oba bwe twabategeeza nti polling stations zino kugulwawo ssaawa emu y'okumakya. Naye twafunye amawulire nti ebitundu ebisinga obungi obuuma bwaffe oba buno obukakasa oba ne bumanyiira omulonzi oba balonzi tebukola lw'ebintu byuma bya kalimagezi webiti wembeera eriwo. Naye ne tusalawo nti lw'okuba nti ssemateeka agamba nti record oba ekintu ekikulu nnyo ku polling station ye register, ate buli polling station erina register y'abalonzi, mulimu ebifaananyi biri mu langi, ebifaananyi by'omulonzi, amannya ge, enamba y'obulonzi, ekifo kibumwabeera na polling station walondera. Kati ne tusalawo twasazeewo nga kakiiko nti okulonda kugenda mu maaso nga tuweeyambisa registers ezo. Abalonzi bwe banatuuka ku polling stations bw'onoobozze nakapapulako ka voter allocation slip oba ndangamuntu yo bajja kunoonya erinnya lyo mu register, oba tozze nako oba tolina ndangamuntu ojja kweyanjula erinnya lyo bakakase nti ddala mu register wooli ate gwe kennyini, kubanga bajja kutunda ku kifaananyi balabe ne kiyenyi kyo banaakakasa nti yegwe, bakuwa kapapula ogende olonde okateeke mu box. Abantu baffe ba technical people oba ba engineer, tugambe ba engineer bwe batyo bagezaako okukola kyonna okulaba nti batereeza obuuma buno mu bifo butakola oba bwe buganya okukola. Nga kakiiko we regret mu Luganda bwetata twejjusa ebibaddewo nti ngwe ebitwali tusuubira akuuma kano okukozesebwa bukola tebisobose lw'ensonga etali emu, naye tugamba nti okutwalira wamu obuuma obutakola tekijja kugaana abannayuganda okulonda, kubanga ssemateeka gamba nti obuyinza buli mu bantu ate balina obukozesa nga balonda bakulembeze baabwe be baagala. Nolwekyo nga kakiiko tugamba nti yadde obuuma buganye kukola, naye okuba nti register buli polling station erina register y'abalonzi oba enkala y'abalonzi, okulonda kujja genda mu maaso, ate kujja genda mu maaso mu mateeka. Naye kyetukubiriza ba presiding officers, amateeka gagamba nti omulonzi bw'aba amaze okukakasibwa n'aweebwa kalulu n'alonda, gwe presiding officer oteekako katiiki ku linnya lye mu register ekiraga nti yamaze kukola ki yamaze okulonda ate nekirala ba agents abali polling stations mukakasiza ddala nsuubira nti ba candidates bawadde ba agents baabwe registers za polling stations ba agents babanakasiza nti ono mulonzi era mu register waali ekyokusatu nti omuntu wamala kulonda aja genda woli omwami oli asembayo oba mukyala ku polling station ayina bwino amuteeka oba ku njala oba ku kinkumu ekikakasa nti yamaze okulonda kakati ba presiding officers era tuweereza bubaka nga tubagamba nti omulonzi yenna bw'aba ajja ku polling station sooka okebera enjala ze oba engalo ze olabe oba kuliko inki yonna eraga nti yalonze naye ffe tugamba nti omukutwalira wamu ekyokukozesa register yokka kiri mu mateeka obuuma ekigendererwa ky'obuuma kyali nti okuyamba okukakasa nti gundi mulonzi ku polling station eno ate kyanguyo mulimo gwokakasa nti gundi ono mulonzi wano ate nokugira oba okugaana oli bwagezaako okujja okwongera okukuba kalumundi gwokubiri ekimugaana ekyogamba nti omuntu ayinza okuva wano n'agenda empigi oba alondedde wano Kawempe south n'agenda Kawempe north nti n'alonda omulundi gwokubiri sebo nyabo erinnya lyo liri mu Kawempe register ya Kawempe north yokka si mu Kawempe south wa ku mpigi nolwekyo kyogamba nti olwokuba nti obuuma tebuliiwo nolwekyo abantu kisoboka nti bajja genda balonde wanu wali na wali nedda era ba agents ba candidates kemanyi basindise ba agents baabwe buli polling station gwe mulimu gw'aba agents ogwo tubadde tubakutegeeza okuva emabega ti ba agents bebakalabalaba ba agents bebakuuma biki ebigenda mu maaso ebikwata ku interests za candidate we naye kye tugamba ba Uganda bannange muleme kweraliikirira weewaawo obuuma twabuleeta nga tusuubira nti bugenda tuyamba naye mu mateeka okulonda kusiki asobola genda mu maaso era ne tubeera n'akalulu k'amazima n'obwenkanya ate nga ka mirembe mwebale ddala. Let me tell you this. One,
Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Justice Simon Byabakama, clarifying on an issue that had come up where the biometric voter verification machines in some parts of the country were not functioning. He said, well, voting should continue because by law we have the voters register, which is stipulated in the law. So as long as someone's name is there, and of course he mentioned other measures that really verify why still, even in the absence of these machines, we can use the register. But also clarified that voting will not extend beyond 4 p.m. because of the delays that have been caused. He said once it clocks 4 p.m. and you're on the line or in the queue, you'll be allowed to cast your vote, even if the line is as long as whatever we can say, and voting ends at 5. What will happen is at 4 p.m. voting will close. The last person on the line must vote as long as it is 4 p.m. Now, how usual it is done, once it clocks 4 p.m., the polling constable goes and lines behind the last person on that queue, a sign that nobody else is allowed to join the queue. So wherever you are, do not think of the delay. Now I'll be going to Robert Onyango, who is at Karo Primary School in Rakitura, where His Excellency is expected to cast his vote.
Well, good morning once again, Robert Chirabo and the viewers of UBC TV. Hello, Uganda. It is the 15th day of January 2026. Rather, we are coming to you once again from Karo High School here in Kiruhura district. This is the polling station where the head of state, also the NRM presidential candidate Yoweri Museveni, will be casting his vote for presidency and that of the two members of parliament for this district of Kiruhura. A few moments to come, I think we are not left with more than 5 minutes or 10. The head of state will be getting in here, and those are the images, I guess, you, our viewer, seated in your dining room, watching from your shop or from your offices. But of course, it is a public holiday. We expect you to be at home, relaxing, but as you follow the proceedings of this noble exercise, it is a historical day in the history of Uganda, because leadership is what shapes our country, and this is what exactly we are waiting for here as the president comes in here to cast his vote, and of course joining the many Ugandans who have already voted here at Karo High School. I said, and I repeat, it is a polling station. There are 2 polling stations here with a voting population of 997, and that includes the head of state. As we wait for him, we just want to prepare you that indeed voting across Kiruhura district is, so far from what we have gathered through our sources on the ground, is moving on well. But of course, even in western Uganda, say the districts of Kazo, Kiruhura, the district we are speaking through, then when you talk of Mbarara, Ntungamo and the rest, voting so far we have not got incidents of disruption somewhere, but of course we'll be getting the details as soon as they get into our eyes and ears. Just to brief and prepare you that indeed every Ugandan has taken it upon him or herself to raise up, to walk up and go and vote. I mean, those only registered voters. For you who didn't get chance or an opportunity, for those who said this is not part of me, I don't care. Of course, I know what you are feeling now. You are just even regretting that. I wish I am a registered voter. I will be today going to vote for that leader I want. But of course, it is a process which was given to you. It was an opportunity which was at free cost to just raise up, stand up, go and register, and make sure that in the end of the day, you are part of the many Ugandans who are over 21 millions who are voting the leaders who will be leading us at different levels of leadership in the coming term of office. That is 2026 and 2031. That is what is coming here and what is happening here as we wait for the president. Voting, Robert and our viewers, is ongoing. They are not waiting for the president. Now on your screens, the president is just behind me, and this is the beginning of what has brought us here to see how the president casts the vote. But he will be casting it just like any other normal Ugandan, a registered voter. He will be taken through the processes of voting, verifying that he is a voter, and at the end of the day handed 2 ballot papers. That is the one for president, and he chooses among the 8 candidates who he wishes to see that he leads Uganda. But of course, as a candidate and a contender, we expect he will choose himself as a capable person, a capable Ugandan who is going to lead Uganda again in the coming 5 years as the president of the Republic of Ugandans. Viewers, as soon as the president closes up here, I'll be muting this sound, then I give you what exactly you want to see. Our viewers, and on your screens is now the arrival of the head of states, the president of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni, arriving here at Karo High School polling station, where he is going to cast his votes, seeking for another term, which is the 7th term as the head of state. The president is now there. Over to you, our viewers. Enjoy the rest of this broadcast as it comes to you from Rwakitura in Kiruhura district.
That is Kalo Primary School in Kiruhura district, where he is a registered voter. He's soon going to be casting his vote, and of course that will mean that His Excellency has fulfilled his constitutional mandate. Every Ugandan of age of voting, it is your right to participate in choosing who your next leader is. Now, of course, we can see that there are quite other people at the polling station also who have come to cast their vote. Today is a big day in our history, the 15th of January, where again Ugandans have gone to the polls to elect their member of parliament, that is district woman member of parliament, the directly elected member of parliament, but also who will take on the mantle of governing this country for the next 5 years. There are 8 candidates in the race, and Yoweri Museveni is the NRM candidate. We are bringing you live. That is His Excellency. They're checking for his name, then he will be given his about candidate Yoweri Museveni of the NRM. Yes, he's now a candidate of the NRM party, and of course is with other 8 people in the race. Who will take it at the end of the day? Remember, the law is very clear. Within 48 hours from the closure of polling, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission must have announced the winner of that election. So if you calculate, we have till Saturday around 4 p.m. that Justice Simon Byabakama, that is the time he has to announce who will have won this election. For members of parliament, that is at district level. Of course, the district turning officer will be able to announce who will be the winner. His Excellency clearly looking, I think that is the biometric voter verification machine. If I have heard it clearly, His Excellency trying it out there. However, Justice Simon Byabakama earlier on clarified or gave direction, issued a statement on that, that where these machines have become non-functional due to technicalities, voting should go on. Voting should go on because we have the voters register, and you should follow as long as someone is in the register, then that person should vote, and we should not hold voting because the machines are not working. And we don't know what is happening there, but it seems His Excellency has something to, it seems the NRM presidential candidate has something to say there. either regarding the machine. Yes, we see him removing the hat. Let's wait and look. Now they're trying, let's see if they're trying to get, yes, that is the machine they are using as the president is going to vote. That must be working indeed. Well, that is exactly what is happening now. His Excellency in the process of casting his vote to take on Uganda for the next 5 years. Should Ugandans give him the mandate today? Because
everything was fine. But
that is candidate Yoweri Museveni of the NRM going to cast his vote. He's at the Benson, going to tick, and right now the president, he's making his choice. The candidate of the NRM party, Yoweri Museveni, making his choice on who will lead the country for the next 5 years. Since it is a secret ballot, well, the choice is not known to anybody because it has to be known to only you who is casting that ballot. He's now headed for the bucket to drop in his ballot paper after folding it vertically. He's folding it vertically, very carefully, and slotting it into the box. He's now heading for yet another basin because 3 positions are to be voted today. That is the president, the district woman member of parliament, and the directly elected member of parliament. Now he's at the directly elected member of parliament. He's finished casting for the president, and there he heads for the box. He folds vertically and slots it into the box. One more to go. The president still heads for the final box. That is the district woman member of parliament. Of course, he's interacting. Oh, he's there now. They've ticked or marked his finger as a sign that he has voted. For every Ugandan, remember, after voting, you get that mark as a sign that you've cast your vote. Yoweri Museveni, the presidential candidate for the NRM party, has finished casting his vote. Remember, voting started at 7 a.m. and will end at 4 p.m. Wherever you are, make sure you make it to the polling station in case you haven't, as long as you're a registered voter like His Excellency. By 11:25, he had arrived at Karo Primary School in Kiruhura district, And he's going to be speaking to some residents there. I can see a mic given to him, addressing the people. Candidate Yoweri Museveni of the NRM party is going to be addressing the people that are at that polling station where he has just finished casting his vote. All is being prepared for the president to address the people.
Kana kanjangiro nyenkanimpango nyempango yekanimpango togoga hati ngagandi mbente togoga hati ngagandi mbente togoga hati ngagobshedi naga kare makana mhago nakajajiro yekanimpango akabashwe bomufunga izoba kabashwahirwe hogo mityo yende kabatara murungi cyambamba inakari yekanimpango inanchuche yekanimpango inabana yekanimpango inabakaikuru yekanimpango gambi sampimbi yekanimpango inabagursi yekanimpango kagabirwe ibiri yekanimpango nakajagiro yekanimpango
I want to thank all of you, the rumor mongers, you know, we village people, we are not used to people who don't work. Because either you are a farmer of crops or cows, or a fisherman, or you have got Omoga. Omoga is like a blacksmith, carpentry, and so on. This is our tradition. But recently we got some new people who say their job is to look for news. Can you imagine? Umuntu akora aliya mbanonya urugambo. But it's modernity, so we are accepting it. So I'm happy to meet you because I've discovered that aborugamba nabo no mugaso. Kubanga bagiyeno ni batwara eri singa batwara ebitufu nabwo muri musi cyansonga. Nenze naremera mukurunda no kulima. So I congratulate Ugandans for getting up early this morning, because I was following by 5-6 people were up. Now they had a problem of these voter verification machines. They are working because I voted by it, as you saw. You were all there. First of all, it did not accept my fingerprints because I think maybe when they took them, they had a different angle if you don't put them properly. But when they put my face, you saw the machine recognized me. Now, this has been the struggle of NRM since 1960. Because long before your parents were born, I was around and already active. And we have been having a problem of from that time. UPC was cheating that time. Kawaka Yaka. I was in DP. DP was not so much inactive. It had other problems. Therefore, the elections of 1961-62 were really not fair, not accurate. At that time, they were voting in enclosed Sakati, where they would have an enclosure, a Kasharagati. Where you go and you take a loan, and then they would have each party had its own box. Then you had so it was really not serious. We never had elections again from 1962 to 19. Is there no shade somewhere? Because I'm enjoying the rumor mongers. I want to talk to them more. There's no shade here where you can. Aroka Gundao. Okay, Toa. You rumor mongers, you are the ones who brought yourself, so I'm going to lecture you. So we never had elections again for 18 years, no elections, until 1980. Now, before the elections of 1980, we told our people, please, can we remove all these shades? Because in 1962, you had multiple voting. Somebody could vote many times. You had ballot stuffing. Somebody could just bring papers and put them there. You didn't have registers which you were sure of. And the voting was in a Bisakati, in the enclosure. So we said, please, can we discuss how to vote accurately? They didn't want. They just wanted elections. And they cheated. And we told them that if you cheat, we are going to fight. That's what happened. So when we defeated those groups, we started with lining up. 1989, because that lining up was Ukakasanti. These are your real people. To remove the other issue of ballot stuffing, remove the issue of multiple voting, remove the issue of dead people also voting, because if you are dead now, you don't have time to line up. You can't come to line up. So it worked well, 89, the lining up. But when we went to the CA, they said, no, we must go back to, because the lining up had the issue of people seeing that you didn't vote for me, and it could have some parana. So that's why when we came to 94, 96, we went back to secret ballot. But we put these measures which you still see. Have one ballot paper. Don't have separate ballot papers, so that the pictures of the candidates are all on one paper, as you saw. Secondly, have one ballot box. Thirdly, tick privately, but where all people are seeing, so that they see that you have ticked only one paper. Fourthly, have agents of candidates, agents. Let them be there to see, because all these were not allowed. In the 1962, it was not allowed. You are not allowed to have agents. It was up to the Electoral Commission people. Then count immediately after voting, because that was also another issue. In 1962, they would take the boxes from here to Mbarara. It would take like a week, taking the boxes. They would count there, you are not there, then they just announce. So here we said, count and announce immediately after the elections. Now, so this was like, we thought it would eliminate cheating. And it can, but it depends on one thing, vigilance. The agents to really be vigilant. But many times the agents are not vigilant. They are not vigilant. So still, like in the last election, opposition infiltrated 2.7 million votes. Those votes which they say opposition got were not. They never got those votes. They were infiltrated by the opposition. They printed 1 million votes on Nkrumah Road, and we brought another 1.7 from Dubai. It's a fact. We got these facts, but afterwards. So that's why all this time we have been saying, no, let's go electronic, biometric, capture the fingerprint and the face. Yes, you will vote manually, like you saw me voting, but after the machines have confirmed that I am the one, and that I will vote only once, I'm not allowed to. No, so this machine works, as you saw. But some people feared it, didn't want it to work. Some people feared it. Some people feared the machine. They fear the machine. They don't want the machines to work. So this morning, being a guerrilla, I get up early. I'm not like you people who kondeza. You know kondeza? Who kondeza? Abaganda banikigambo ekyo banange. To oversleep. Huh?
Amalowooza agali eno bagamba nti kuba kufuluuta.
That is snoring. To oversleep.
Bagambye kuba kuwoomereza. Nti okubulizaako.
Ngenda kumugamba Kabaka Mutebi Abaganda mazike ekyoli nyankole. Okondeza is a clear, so I don't condemn. So 6:30 I rang Todwong. Todwong was up there in Nwoya. I was checking about our agents, my agents. They must be here. My don't call them, leave them, they are on duty. I was checking, have my agents arrived? Said yes, some of them have arrived. This was like 6:30. Many of them have arrived, but we now have a problem of the machines. What is the problem? The software, this and that and that and that. Then I checked now with the Shiba, engineer Shiba. I hear stories about the machines. Then Shiba said the machines have no problem, but the people in some people in the Electoral Commission delayed to bring their biodata, what they call biodata, so that it is entered into the machine. So that machine can only be operated by somebody whom it has already been allocated. Is the only one who can open it. Otherwise, if Yoweri Museveni, a very important man, president, general, if I come and try to open it, it will not accept me. It will say, sorry, sikumanyi. So somebody in the Electoral Commission delayed to send the picture. Whose pictures were sent? Who opened this machine here? He's there, but he's on duty. Don't divert him. So, what is his name? Akampa Sara. When was she recruited? Maybe our big woman here can brief us. The machine operator, give her Mzindaro. Come. Ibenda kumzindaro.
She's coming.
They will bring it here.
Your Excellency, Thank you for that question. The polling officials were recruited beginning on 22nd of December 2025. Throughout, we took them through the recruitment process until 2nd of January of this year, when we started the trainings. We trained them for 5 days consecutively. As of yesterday, Your Excellency, we were still training as a refresher to remind them in case they forgot, because we are dealing with a machine. We took them through yesterday countrywide, and they were ready to work.
Okay. So, but the machine to work had to be operated by the one who has already explained that one?
Yes, for the biometric voter verification kit to work, first of all, it is used by 2 officers, the operator and the presiding officer. For it to work, you must assign them before they can use it.
Assign them how?
You take their particulars, their national identity card, NIN, and their biodata. So we submitted at the district level to the Electoral Commission headquarters IT, and they assigned them to the machines.
They integrated them?
Yes, Your Excellency.
And that's why the machine is accepting them?
That's why they are able to use the machines.
Are you part of that, or you are a bigger woman?
I am a returning officer of the district.
So for you,
but I supervise them, sir.
So you are not among the openers?
I'm not among the operators, Your Excellency.
So what happened was that some people in the Electoral Commission did not send the particulars of the operators to the machines. So I checked, they are saying that some of them, even by this morning, had not sent their biodata by this morning. Some were sending by 9. Was this deliberate? We are going to check that. So when I started checking by 8, 9, people started ringing me. The machines are working in a few places, in other places they are not working. So the Electoral Commission proposed, and I had to support it, because people have gathered from morning, from 7, that we vote manually, because it was not correct for people to just go home. But the machine works. So there must be, we're going to find out why there was a delay by people to send the biodata to the machines. I know people who cheat, opposition. Last time they got 2.7 million votes by cheating. But this time we are also very, very alert. Although the machines have not worked well, we have got other measures which we are following up. So this is, since you are rumor mongers, this is not a rumor, these are true stories which I have told you. I can answer a few questions. Abakuza kutera ubulunu barabakuriye. Tanareba ntawana bejabe abantu baza kutera karabina. Okay. Oh.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I'm by the names of Robert Onyango. I work with UBC. Congratulations, first of all, for having gone around the entire country for 3 months, canvassing for votes. It has not been an easy journey. We saw you under the sunshine, under the rain, but you finally managed and made it to where we are today. Your Excellency, this is the 7th time you are casting the vote under this arrangement, where as a country, Uganda, we choose leaders at all levels. Then we have started with these 2 categories. I'm just removing or setting aside the 1980 elections, which you have always disputed. That's why I have not made it 8. But on the bottom line, Your Excellency, what kind of president have you voted for today? One you'd wish to lead Uganda in the coming 5 years, looking at the demands of our society, where service delivery, security, peace, and the rest is a core principle of which the NRM party, which you lead, is running and intending to run the next government. And probably, if you wanted supporters like members of parliament and local leaders, to the voters who have not yet voted, which kind of leaders can they send to you so that you work with them in the coming 5 years? Your Excellency, I will not limit it to there, but just give me 1 second. You have insinuated about what happened in the last elections in 2021. If you can just add it on this, my 1 question. Are you ready this time round to accept the outcome of this election, just in case the opposition once again rise up and manipulate the exercise, as you have always alluded? Thank you, Excellency.
Well, if we had known the manipulation in time, we would have challenged it. But we came to know about it later. We came to know about it post-mortem. But this could be one manipulation. We are going to study more. Like this one here, we're going to find out why, what was the problem. Because I have voted with the machines here, I put my Ugandans all over the world, listen to what I have done here. I am a good experiment. I am a good guinea pig. I put my right chinkumu, that's what they call sampling. The machine did not accept it. I put my left, it did not accept it. Why? It could be that when we took them, we used a different angle. When you put an angle to me, but the real decisive factor was the face. My face was accepted by the machine here, so the machine works. And the reason we added the machines, the face, was because people had argued that Africans' thumbprints are eroded by holding the hole. Because they hold the hole that the marks may not be clear. So that's why we added the face. So we don't know whether this was just oversight or part of the manipulation. But we shall study even all the other factors, because we are following other factors. Now, regarding the president I voted for here, and the member of parliament I voted for people who believe in patriotism. Remember, I've been telling you that. Because as you can see here, all these people here are wealth creators who don't have many parasites here. Most of the people are wealth creators. They create wealth by cows for milk, cows for beef, and bananas. But these people don't buy my milk. And I also don't buy theirs. Why? Because we have the same products. So who buys our milk? People of Kampala, people like Onyango in Kampala there, they're the ones who buy my milk, who buy my beef, who buy my bananas. So when you see this Banyankore with the mabati, with the brick houses, the money they are using to build their wealth is from Uganda. So that's why we say, you people who are not parasites, love Uganda. Why? Because you need it for your own good. Nzo muntu wakwata ku Uganda mfirawo. Wao mfirawo. Kulwaki kubanga Uganda kekasiyani kange kwendira munange. Bolaba nzimbe nyumba enungi wano ndikisaje kikaga ndiawo nange tumunyoma. But everyone because of Uganda. Even in the 1950s, when I went in the school system, I was supported by 3 people, and none of them was a Munyankore. There was a man called Warisim Mpanga from Kampala who was buying cows and taking them to Kampala for slaughter. He was a Muganda man. Yagulanga enteza fe na tusasula kaguta na mpera musomero. Then there was another Kiganda man kinene bwekiti Kisilamu from Barara called Bukenya. Yagulanga enteza fe nazileta Mbarara mukatale wao. 1956, a Muzungu called Share came and started buying our cows, taking them to Kirembe. Kirembe area Tandese. So you can imagine in the 1950s, I went to school because of Uganda buying my cows, my father's cows. So when you say, whom did you vote for? Me, I want the one who loves Uganda. When you come and you tell me about Badama and who are the Onyangos? The Samia?
Yes, Your Excellency, I'm with Samia.
So, Fungaba Samia, Fungaba Ganda, Fungaba Nankore. Zinkugambira nti sitani mvako. Genda. So this is the one I have voted for, the one who believes in Uganda. But also, the one who believes in Africa. Because even Uganda is not enough. If you see our production now, so big, this milk, these people here, production of milk is 5.3 billion liters. The internal market is only 1 billion. So if we do not have East Africa, this business would have collapsed. This is the economy of milk. So kata wetugambira nti Pan-Africanism. Love Africa. Why? Because you need it. So I vote for those. The ones who says Ngaba Ganda, Fengaba Nankoda, Ndumunyankole dala, I like my culture. Ndumukugumu culture, naye ebyange private. For politics, it is Uganda, it is Africa. Let's have 3 other questions and I go to Mvemboruga mugende kukora ibyo kana koruga mboka vawa go vawa Nukarigar kunjiraka. Okay.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. My name is Adam Mayambala, and I work for NBS TV. My question is, over the 90 days of your campaign, a lot of issues have been raised from the locals and a lot of promises. and a lot of promises that you have made, but what is the most critical concern that you see in Uganda that you're going to start with if Ugandans entrust you and vote for you today? And secondly, ku nsonga y'obuuma tubaye twagala president maybe otunyonyoleko mu Luganda abantu baffe abawansi basobole otegeera ky'obadde onyonyola.
Oluganda manda gaweddemu. Now, Uganda is very rich now. There are very many rich people. There are about maybe 70% of the homesteaders who are in the money economy. That's how, when you go to the supermarkets, many of the products are coming from Uganda now. Sugar is from Uganda. It used to come from other places. Milk is from Uganda. Beer is from Uganda, mwawatamivu. Some, even some of the cloth, like this one here, what I'm putting on, cement is from Uganda, mitayimba from Uganda. So there's a lot of wealth which has come up. In commercial agriculture, manufacturing, services and ICT, hoteli, very many hotels. Transport, Mbaraba, borders, what have you, there are so many. So that one have responded very well. That's why our exports have gone up, coffee. We are now earning more than $13 billion in export earnings. Now our export earnings are now higher than our import bill. We are importing less than we are exporting. But there is about 30% of the people who are still who are still outside the money economy. These are the ones now we need to deal with. And abantu abo balina ebintu nga bitano. First of all, obwavu. Abagaga webali naye n'abavu webali. So poverty. That's why these programs, PDM, all those will be intensified and monitored. Secondly, education. Abana babo kusoma. Abana babana kusomera bwerere. Free education. We've been having problems. Bano banasoma ko abombyaro tebafayo nnyo kubasoma. So this time really I went to the Bazukuru to support me, and we really implement free education in government schools. Then Amadagara Marwaro, there's a problem there which must be sorted out. Immunization is doing well. Amadagara Marwaro Garnechizu. Then the other issue would be water for drinking and for production. Many people are now doing under PDM. They are doing Jenkoko, Zomchiyumba, Embizi, Embuzi. So they need water near the house. So water is number 4. Then finally, the corruption. Corruption is a big issue, and it creates injustice. Then there's the issue of land evictions. Chibataka, that's another big issue. For the smaller people, I'm able, I am informed, I can hire lawyers so I can defend my land, but the smaller people have a problem. betulina okulwanako. And then finally enguudo z'omubyalo, those roads must be, the tarmac roads must be kept well, and the maram roads also must be kept passable. Two final questions.
Your Excellency, nze ngenda kubuuza mu Luganda, yenze Mukiibi Jamiru Kyabasinga, nkola ne Delta TV, tukole tukuyozayoza Your Excellency gy'otambulidde yonna eggwanga lyonna ng'ofeffetta akalulu akanaakuzza mu ntebe ekisanja kyo ekirala ekyamazima. Kampeyini eno obadde tokuba bukubi kampeyini, wabula obadde otambula osomesa abantu.
Yes, siri mu kampeyini ibi byamwe
obadde osomesa abantu.
Munkolera ki? What I'm the one who is menyeka kulwamwe. So I go to help you to see for yourselves, not me. I need nothing from you. Sina kinetaga byonna mbirina wano.
Tukuyozaeza Your Excellency.
So when I go to see such a large crowd of my people to say, oh yeah, what? God will not like it. When I get a chance, mbasomesa.
Your Excellency, tuli wano bannamawulire twatambula naawe okuva eruweero nga tukwetegereza era okunoonyereza okwo kwenkugambye tukukoze wamu. Bannamawulire abatambula naawe okuva eruweero bakusaba nti ng'akalulu aneeno kawedde basooke bakusinkanemuuko bongere okukulaga ebyenjawulo bye balabye mu bitundu by'eggwanga ebyenjawulo.
I would love that. I will take you either Tikisozi or Rwakitula nembatira Sedume nemulya enyama.
Babadde bakusaba nga tebannaddayo Your Excellency e Kampala obasinkanemu. Akasembayo Your Excellency, osuubira akalulu kano koolaba nga obadde onyumiza bunyumiza abantu obasomesa busomesa ogenda kawangalira ku percentage ki?
If there is no cheating, 80%. So that's why we must stop ballot stuffing. Because even the other time it was they said 58%, but actually it was much more than that. NRM Real has been all the time winning above 70% from 1996. Now you Kuboko, if we don't Kuba, it distorts. If we don't stop the Kuba, it distorts the figure. Asembayo.
Your Excellency, Sansokula Bakosebo. Katonda tumwebaza nti akukuumye paka kati ku lunaku lw'okulonda. Your Excellency, nsooka okwebaza nti owadde abaana ba social media naddala boyita ab'olugambo tutambuza enjiri ya NRM era ab'opposition bonna twababikka. Museveni yali ku social media, TikTok, Twitter ne YouTube. Ekibuuzo kyange kiri nti taata nsaba kubuuza era onziremu. Muzeeyi oli punctual, nze wansobera. Muzeeyi bw'ojja mu kalulu ojja bukyali okusomesa abantu bo. Naye bwe ziwera 14:45 muzeeyi ng'aga musajja w'ekikoofiira oyo nga tumanya asiibudde. Other people babeera bakyanoonya akalulu paka saa 12. Ekyo kikoze otya ate ng'oli w'amaanyi mu ggwanga? Thank you.
Kubanga I can answer that in English. Omanyi si kituufu or I mix. Si kituufu okutawanya abantu mbu waliwo byonoonya gwe. Kati nga bino ebyokubera kampeyini mu butale ogeze mu katale abantu bali ku nnaku yaabwe n'enyaanya nakibye batunda kati gwe nojja n'okola olukungaana mu katale. Isiriyale olaba tofa ku bantu abo. tosobola kujja mu ndimiro yange entunga mu lusuku lwange n'okolera mu lukungana nkufumitirawo ogenda mulambo. But these people, they don't care because lumuna emirira ko warwaka je batundire eyo mu northern bypass. When you are coming from Nambole side, then you want to go to Mulago. There's some big, where they, I don't know what they call it. Yes, one day they were waving, I was excited and I stood, I regretted because they stampeded now and started trampling because these people are staying on the roadside. But so really you have no right kubanga gwonna ebyonoonya okujja noyingira mu bulamu bwaffe ekitubeezaawo. So that's why we insist, if you want campaigns, go ebbali eyo abagala kuwuliza byoyogera bagenda kusanga eyo. Ffe tulwana tulikuna ku yaffe, tutunda ennyaanya, tuli ku byaffe. Bwe tuba twagala okujja eyo tugenda beera we tunakusanga naye si ggwe okujja mu kutulumba wano. Now coming to the time, because it is so unfair. These people are coming from far, the ones you are addressing. They need to go back before darkness. Because you don't know, sometimes some of these areas have got some crime, some this. So why do you want to go beyond 6 o'clock? That's why we put it like that. Don't campaign at night, campaign early and go. So when you see people saying they don't care, it is because abantu abo bebali mutima bafaako babakozesa bukozesa mumpagire. That's why they go for religion. Mpagire kubanga Protestanti, kubanga ni Mukatoliki, kati ebyo byakugenda mugulu. Kati ffe tuliko wano ebyaffe byawo n'enguudo, obwavu. Kati waliwo obwavu Obukatoliki banange n'Obusiraamu. You can see they are useless people. Bayingira mu bintu byebataninamu byebatamanyi. So that's why they have no okulumirwa abantu. That's why they go for all those irrelevant factors, amawanga, edini, biki. So I can't go beyond 6 because singo mwana w'abantu agwambate mu ekiro addayo ava mu lwale ya Museveni. Songa siriwo okumuvuga kumutuusa awaka. If I had capacity to drive them home safely, we could stay up to midnight. Then afterwards we have vehicles to take them home. But they are going to walk back home on their own. And you don't see that you should end. There is also darkness. If in case somebody picks your pocket, you will not see him in darkness. That's why I want people to go early, go away. Thank you so much. I'm dying really to have a whole day with my companions, the rumor mongers. Who have been with the old man with the hat. Come, you. Chino. Genda kumzindaro.
Owekitiibwa Nalongo Shamshad Narujja nga mbeera Masaka, nzaalibwa Masaka Seera. Ye.
Very good. Nalongo lunabameka abalongo.
Nina abalongo ba mulundi gumu omulenzi n'omuwala.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Owekitiibwa Mr. Meeting, ensonga ya meeting.
No, we shall organize. Let's first finish the elections. We are going to organize. I'm dying to meet you and talk with you. I will invite you to to Rwakitura or Kisozi. We shall see which is better. Okay? Thank you so much. Kana katoka gambachi. Kano kavawa.
Your Excellency, nze Nakayenga Sharon, nga nkola ne Makula TV. Your Excellency, tusaba kulaba, tunabagenda Kampala.
Today? No, today we are busy. You are still around here?
Yes.
Fine, we shall organize. We shall organize. Okay, kare bazukuru. We should thank this lady for hosting us. Tumubaza okutuchaza.
Well, that has been the President of the Republic of Uganda and also the presidential party flag bearer of the NRM party having a brief chat here with the 4th Estate shortly after casting the vote here at this polling station in Kiruhura district, that is in Rwakitura. The President has been loud and clear. You have heard what he intends to bring on table for the rest of Ugandans if entrusted with another mandate in the coming term of office, that is the 2025-2026. So the President has made it very clear that indeed in the coming term of office he will emphasize free education for all. This has been his argument throughout the entire campaign trail, that it is not wise to charge students or pupils during the process of when they want to acquire education. And he maintains that indeed he will ensure that corruption, which has derailed most of the service deliveries in government and public institutions, they will be in position to face it out completely. He has fought against corruption in this whole 40-year rule to ensure that Ugandans at the end of the day service delivery is at their doorsteps, and he is promising that fellow Ugandans, if you feel he is the best choice for you and entrust him with your vote today, then those are the key issues he will be focusing on in the coming term of leadership as the President of Uganda. Here at this polling station, much as the President was addressing us here, then voting was still going on. Voters are still lining up. If our cameras will dodge a bit to the other side where the polling station is. And just to give you an emphasis that this address has not been at the polling station. The President moved away from the polling station not to interfere with the exercise of voting. That's why even you hear him not inviting a few staffs whom he wanted some details from them. So long as he was told that they are going ahead with the polling exercise, they were spared not to be interrupted. Because at the end of the day, he's a candidate and this process must go on because it has a timeline of 4 p.m. as a deadline so that they close up and start up the tallying of results. Our viewers are made to understand we are even on Star TV, but of course twagala just okujjukiza nti omukulembeze gwanga nga bw'omulabye essira asinze kuliteeka kwabo balonze mubuziza nga nze ng'omuntu nti alonze mukulembeze wa kikaaki mu kunnyonnyola kwe enkakaso tegedde bulungi nti ye ng'omukulembeze w'eggwanga nga candidate Museveni agambye nti alonze omuntu agenda okugatta Uganda atajja kutandika kukuliriza mawanga n'ebirala. So as we
Well, thank you very much, Robert Onyango at Karo Primary School in Rwakitura, Kiruhura district. I'm joined by Ranga Christopher, who is the head and patron of the Mulungushi Club, as we wind up the first half of today. This is the day that Ugandans have gone to the polls. Ranga, you're most welcome.
Thank you very much, Comrade Dichilabo. Thanks very much, UBC, for giving me such a grand opportunity to make a statement after His Excellency Yoweri Museveni has just addressed the nation. It is a great pleasure indeed.
Well, the President has said so much in a small space of time just after casting his vote. What do you make out of his statement, briefly?
I think he has tried to be honest to Uganda, but he has left out some critical details. And these critical details, when we go for multi-party elections, we are celebrating, we are paying tribute to our grandson, the mother of modern nationalism, and that is Ignatius Kangave Musazi, who started the Uganda National Congress in 1952 with a common motto, with a militant motto, one man, one vote, self-government now. It was a struggle to operationalize that wish, that desire, that struggle to come into fruition. So I think for every Ugandan who is at the polls and who may go there later, we are paying homage to Ignatius Kangave Musazi and his team. The fruits of 1952 are getting consolidated. That is one aspect. The second aspect, we are paying tribute to the 1957 electoral law, which helped us organize the first multi-party elections in 1958, which precisely the head of state has left out, 1961, 1962, and 1980. We missed out on a snap election in 1966 because of the crisis. And we missed out in 1971 another election of 1+3 because of the coup.
Now, His Excellency in his speech talked about how he craved so much to see that we have free and fair elections, and this is where he brought in the issue of the machines, the biometric voter verification machines, which he has explained that there could have been delays in the Electoral Commission, someone to submit names of people who are operating these machines. He said the machines work at his polling station, much as it couldn't get his fingerprints, but at least it could detect his face. And he said this is one of the ways to have transparent voting. But earlier on, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, which also the president, said he agreed to allow voting to go on where even machines are unable to function, as long as someone is in the voters register and they verify that that is the person, because it contains your name, it has your photo, and then that person can go ahead and vote. Ranga, what do you make of day one so far?
I hail from Kaboja A, which is part of Kasenge Parish, which is part of Chengela Town Council, and which is part of Wakiso District. I think in the previous elections, we delayed to start elections